Hi, I'm Vivian from the UN Refugee Agency. A number of issues are raised, and I just wanted to clarify or to present some of the challenges as well. On the issue of just generally alternatives to detention, this is something that UNHCR constantly advocates with the government. I mean, I think in every single meeting we have with the authorities, this comes up, and we're constantly seeking alternatives to detention. For example, for the Rohingya in the south, since the beginning of last year, when a large number of Rohingya arrived, I think over 2,000 or so, we have been working to try with the government to try and identify sites to set up alternatives to detention, places where families could be together, places where people could have greater freedom of movement. This has been really challenging, not to make excuses for the government or anything, but a number of sites were proposed, but due to local opposition, it couldn't go ahead. And this is something we're still working on. We're hopeful that a site can be identified and developed soon. But along with that comes other challenges. For example, it is good to see that, again, for example, for the Rohingya population in the south, children and women are allowed to stay in shelters, not in detention per se. But with that comes challenges such as, they have freedom of movement, but it also means that smugglers have easy access to them. And so we're seeing cases where, people are escaping or they're falling into the hands of smugglers, and they go into these smugglers' camps in the jungle. So along with the freedom of movement, there needs to be, some caution there to prevent exploitation of these women and children. On the issue of education for the Rohingya children in the south, what we're trying to do at the moment is to give them, to incorporate them into the local education system. Thailand has an education for all policy, so we're hoping to work with that. But language is a problem, so we're working to give intensive Thai lessons to some of these Rohingya children so that they can be somehow streamed into the local education system. And hopefully that will address some of the concerns that you, sir, have. And lastly, just to note, on processing times and the appeal for UNHCR to process people faster, it is, as you mentioned, a big, there is a lot of pressure because of the large numbers that have arrived in the last 2 years or so. So UNHCR is constantly trying to find the balance between trying to process people more quickly, but also preserving the integrity of the asylum process. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those questions, Vivian. We are very encouraged by the global detention strategy that UNHCR put in place in its annual meetings back in Geneva in July. I'm very encouraged to see that Thailand is one of the focus countries worldwide for UNHCR's approach to challenging detention of refugees. So that seems like a really positive movement, and we're very, very encouraged to see that. It seems to me that this is a very good opportunity to start pushing again on the issue of children in immigration detention, and I know this is something that has concerned UNHCR in Thailand for quite some time. Also, with the upcoming Human Rights Council elections and the concept that Thailand is a candidate for a position on the HRC, that seems like an excellent time perhaps to raise this issue again, and that this might be a point of leverage for an excellent test case that could really show Thailand's willingness to move forward on international standards. Maybe child detention is one of those issues we could get a little bit of movement on so that they could show their commitment to children's rights in the upcoming movements. So thank you so much.